Hi, I'm DelusionDispeller. I am back again to talk to you more about Marc Emery and why I feel he has narcissistic and histrionic traits. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the dogs because I know they're going to need to go out shortly, so I'm hoping we don't have any accidents on the floor while I'm making my video. Good girl, my mind. Good girl, Lil. Okay. So, what I'm discussing here is not specifically what Emery stands for, per se, but the traits of narcissism I see in his character as a human being. First, I will say, and histrionic personality disorder as well. First, I will say that his 4 years in jail was a narcissistic injury in Marc's mind, apparently, and it did not completely change his entitlement issues. He still feels that he has every right to do whatever he wants, whether it involves lying, sneaking around, hurting people, taking risks that could cause him even more legal consequences. He used going to jail, which he did, he went to prison for 4 years, as a way to convince people that he is willing, in essence, to be martyred for his beliefs, and actually, in a way, sainted for standing for such a noble cause as legalization and lack of punishment for people using marijuana illegally, growing it, providing it, etc. Marc used his time in prison, in my opinion, to boost his popularity, claiming about how many more people became aware of him and see him as a star now. His wife seems totally enamored and infatuated with her husband, as she sits there with her silly grin on her face, hanging on his every word. Now, I will say this for Julie, his wife. Her heart does seem to be in the right place. She is likely an empath who fell prey years ago to Mr. Emery's flowery words, promises, and grandiosity. And I think she makes a perfect little codependent minion, because obviously she's still with him. And people that stay with narcissists, pretty much, unless they can't get out, tend to be codependent. They tend to need that drama and that chaos and all of that to feel alive, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, Emery claims to have a one world view of the world and teaches about embracing everyone. Yet he blatantly speaks against people who oppose his views, and he doesn't do it nicely or tactfully. He gets downright rude in confronting people to whom marijuana has done damage in their families, etc. His method of addressing public officials is to cuss at, heckle, and be downright obnoxious to them. Marc is a braggart, talking about his lofty plans to overgrow Canada with his marijuana plants. He also was saying that somebody that opposes him, well, F you, to people who try to stop him or make him follow any laws, because he's above the law. And we all know, hopefully by now, a lot of us know anyway, that narcissists feel that they are above the law. The law does not apply to them. So there's a narcissistic trait right there, besides the bragging. The point is, in the United States of America, we have laws in certain states. Marc happened to break a law by bringing seeds or sending seeds through his marijuana magazine sales, whatever, propaganda. He sent them to a state in the United States, apparently, where it was illegal to sell and purchase marijuana, and he went to prison. He was expedited out of, or is it extradited? I don't know. He was taken out of Canada, brought to the United States, and imprisoned for 4 years. He said that if I die in jail or get murdered, that's good too. Okay, so there you go with the grandiose thinking. I am the martyr/hero because I'm standing for this cause, and if they murder me there or I die in jail, well, then I'll be known all over as the one who stood for legalization of marijuana. All of this while his wife is telling him, almost in tears, that he's being selfish, just wanting to go to jail so they'll listen to him and change their minds about pot, which they won't. He laughs at her and says, "It's good to know you love me." What? Okay. His response was basically that he felt they were doing it just to punish him. That's all it is. That's all that is. They're just sending me there and putting me in prison to punish me. It's just a matter of they have to do this. You know, they have to punish me because that's what looks good. They're upholding this law, which he poo-poos anyways. He saw himself as a martyr who should be applauded for standing strong in his conviction. In other words, he felt no remorse over breaking a law that he felt completely entitled to break. And he had no problem still seeing himself as above that law. The more the law tried to hold him accountable for selling porn, pot, and other things that were illegal, the more he rebelled and stepped up his attempts to flood the market with his trashy treasures. To Marc, laws were made to be broken even in his own country. The laws apparently did not apply to him. Again, another narcissistic trait. Here we go with more grandiosity and definitely trying to draw attention to himself. Marc thinks he can bring 1 million voters to the poll to be sure that he will push his pro-pot agenda through to Congress. He literally believed that his going to jail was some sort of heroic feat, and that when he got out, if they didn't kill him in prison, of course, which would have been fine with him, when he got out, he was going to just continue his agenda. And indeed, I'm pretty sure that's what he's up to now. Anyway, so there's lots of narcissistic traits in Marc. I mean, just the fact that he thinks he's above everybody, that he's this, they call him the Prince of Pot. I mean, right there, he's got his followers, he's got his minions. He didn't have empathy even for his wife when she was scared of him going to jail and he was losing her for 4 years. That didn't seem to faze him, and indeed, she stood by him. She apparently is still married to him, as far as I know. I haven't seen anything updated that says otherwise, so who knows, but just a rather odd little man. Very odd. And like I said, I applaud anybody that stands up for their rights, except if it like goes against my moral values and stuff. But what I do notice is the reason I say Marc considered going to prison a narcissistic injury is because of his reaction when he came out of prison. You will notice if you watch his videos years ago, before he went to prison, versus now that he came out of prison, he's a little bit, no, I'd even say a lot more subdued. The narcissist got the narcissistic injury. That knocked the wind out of his sails a little bit. Did he change his view? Probably not. But he seems to have a little bit of a gentler way of going about pushing his agenda, I guess you could say. Which again proves the narcissism. Narcissistic injury results in narcissistic rage or retreat. And he obviously chose the retreat for the most part, other than the rage when he was flipping off the official that he did. Anyway, it's clear to me that there was narcissism involved. Would I say he's a malignant narcissist? I think in the past I probably would blatantly say that without reservation. At this point, I'm just content to say he has narcissistic traits, histrionic traits, and the man is very delusional and grandiose. So we'll leave it at that. That's all I have to say on that matter for now. It's not something I follow closely as a news story because I really, frankly, don't care. I have my stand, like I said, on medical marijuana, but in my state, so far, it's not legal. So I don't know if we'll legalize it or not. Doesn't make a hill of beans of difference to me because it doesn't affect me directly. My husband does not smoke it, and if he ever did, he wouldn't be my husband anymore. So, unless he needed it for medicinal purposes, that'd be a different story. But only in that case. Alright, so thanks for watching. Again, if you're in an abusive situation, please tell a safe person. And don't keep the secrets. It's the hidden things that stay hidden that are often the most dangerous. As always, if you need me, DelusionDispeller@gmail.com is my email address. Hope to hear from you soon. Eyes wide open, moving forward, and I'll have another video soon. Bless y'all. Have a great day.